Hello again. This is lesson 4 of chapter 4 on common prefixes. The first prefix here in this lesson is exo or ecto. And exo, if you remember from the last lesson, we said either ex or exo, and they have the same meaning. Here we have another prefix which is ecto, and again they have the same meaning, which is out. Now, the first term is exogenous, genus process, and exo out or ectogenous. Now the meaning is produced outside the body. Produced outside the body. If a person gets a disease from a virus which comes from outside his body, we say exogenous. You remember when we talked about endogenous, we said that the virus is there in the body of the person, it is inactive, and then under circumstances it becomes active, so the person gets sick again. We call that endogenous. Here, this one is exogenous, which is the opposite, which means that the virus comes from outside the body. Let's see the pronunciation.
Exogenous. Exogenous.
The next prefix is hyper. Hyper means above or excessive, or even sometimes it has the meaning of more than normal. More than normal. All right. The term here we have hyperplasia. Plasia means development or formation, and now you are familiar with this one. And hyper excessive, so excessive formation of cells or abnormal increase in the number of cells. All right, abnormal, excessive, the same meaning. Okay, formation of cells or increase in the number of cells. Now here let's see your book's page 63. The second term. Now under the meaning definition, excessive formation of cells or abnormal increase in the number of normal cells in normal tissue. Now what does this mean? If there is excessive formation of cells, then now look at line 4. It says may indicate a precancerous condition. This could be an indication of cancer, because cancer means excessive number of cells, abnormal increase in the number of cells. So this could be an indication. So it may indicate a precancerous condition. And here he says do not confuse with hypertrophy. And you remember we came across this one, hypertrophy. Trophy means development. So this is different, trophy development, and here increase in the number of normal number of cells. All right. Let's see the pronunciation.
Hyperplasia or hyperplasia. Hyperplasia or hyperplasia.
The next prefix, hypo. Now this is the opposite of hyper. Hyper, above or more than normal. Hypo is below or deficient, not enough. Now hypogastric, IC, it means pertaining to. Gastra, again, the meaning, stomach. and hypo below. It could be here, hypo, sometimes it could be used to talk about the position of a part below. So here, pertaining to below the stomach, in a position which is lower than the stomach. So pertaining to below the stomach. The next term, hypochondriasis. Iasis means abnormal condition again. Chondr, cartilage, you know this one. So let's see the meaning in your books, page 63. Here, this is an exception in the meaning. You remember we mentioned this earlier. We said that sometimes the meaning of the parts does not make the meaning of the full term. This is one of the exceptions. It means mental illness characterized by persistent thoughts that one has a serious illness despite complete medical evaluation and reassurance that there is no such illness. What does this mean? This means that a person is convinced that he has a certain kind of disease. Okay? He believes that he is sick of something. Okay, he goes to the doctor does all the tests, examines the patient, but there is nothing with that patient. Everything is normal. But still, this patient is under the impression that he is sick. So this is related to mental illness, something in his mind, brain, that I am sick, even though the doctor might say that you are not sick, but he still says, no, I am sick. This is what is meant by mental illness. Okay? Pronunciation.
Hypogastric. 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 Hypochondriasis. Hypochondriasis.
The next prefix is in, and it means in or into. The first term, incision, and you are familiar with this one. ION process. Sage means to cut. So the process of cutting. Inversion. ION again process. Vergi means turning. So the meaning of the full term here, turning inward to the inside. Turning to the inside or inward. As in turning of the sole of the foot inward. The sole of the foot means the bottom of the foot. The bottom. All right?
Incision. Incision.
Now, before we listen to the pronunciation of inversion, look at the picture here. Look at the bottom of the foot. Now, turning the bottom of the foot inward to the inside. This is what is meant by inversion. Okay? Let's see the pronunciation.
Inversion. Inversion.
The next prefix is infra. Infra means below. I don't know, maybe you have heard of the word infrared. Infrared, describing a kind of radiation. Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. Maybe you can look it up in the dictionary. Infrared, you can see what the meaning. Infracoastal, AL pertaining to, now you know it. Coast, again you know it. Rib, infra, below. The full meaning, pertaining to, below the rib. Now the pronunciation.
Infracostal. Infracostal.
The next prefix is inter, and it means between. Intercellular, the first term, intercellular. AR, again pertaining to, cellule means cell, and inter, between. So the meaning is pertaining to, between the cells. Intercostal, AL, again pertaining to, coast, rib, and inter, between. So pertaining to, between the ribs. See the pronunciation?
Intercellular. 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 Intercostal. Intercostal.